Hello, wonderful writers, awesome authors, powerful penners, and you creators of climactic content. I am Dwayne Shig, and this is Talking Books, the place for people who like books, reading them or writing them. And to all the dreamers, doers, believers, and achievers, I welcome you to another edition of Talking Books. We are talking this time to Miss Tiffany Adams, and she wrote a book with a very interesting title. It's called Don't Kiss a Frog. That's right. And no, it's not a fairy tale. It's not a children's book. Don't Kiss a Frog by Miss Tiffany Adams. We welcome you to Talking Books. How are you today, Miss Tiffany?
I'm great, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic, and I want to thank you for being a part of Talking Books today. And so you wrote this book. How long have you been writing?
You know what? This is my second book. In 2019, I was a co-author in a book called A Mother's Diary. So then I went on in 2020 and I wrote my first independent book, which is Don't Kiss a Frog.
All right, all right. The title is very interesting. It can sound like a fairy tale, a children's book. Where did that title come from?
You know what? And my life, and not just mine, but other people's lives too. I know we all have kissed some frogs in our lives, you know. So, when you see a frog, you think of something that's very cute, and but once you kiss it, sometimes you can get bitten, you know. So we all go through some things, and I'm just it's just like a warning book, you know, to let people know don't look at the outside image of a person. You got to get to know a person first, and you can't change a person.
So all frogs, when you kiss them, don't turn into princes? It's
No,
not
they
gonna,
do not.
it's not going to turn into a prince?
And the guys, you have kissed some frogs too, that they turn into a princess.
That is great. I love that. I love that angle that you took. So, don't kiss a frog. What is the book about?
You know what? It goes into if like I said, I was a co-author in a book called A Mother Diary, and in that chapter I talked about domestic violence, and I went
Mm,
a little bit more into Don't Kiss the Frog. You know, the different angles of relationships that I've been through. Some of them was domestic violence, some of them was cheating, different things like that. And then I got together with a couple of women, and as I share my story, I get to hear their story too, and I'm like, wow, let me get this book out here to bring awareness to people. You can't look at a person's outside. You got to step back and get to know a person, and you can't change a person, you know. And sometimes we stay in relationships thinking that we can change somebody, and you can't. They have to want to change.
that is powerful. That is powerful. You can't change a person. When I'm doing like consultations or teaching marriage things, I tell people that people change for two reasons. One, because they want to, and the other one because they have to. And you just said you can't change a person. That is so powerful. Let me ask you a question. That is a great lesson to learn. Why does it take people, sometimes it takes people a long time to learn that? Why do you think it takes such a long time or such a difficult lesson for people to learn that you can't change other people?
Because sometimes, like for me, I stayed in a relationship because I had a child by the person. I'm like, well, if they love me enough, they would want to change. And sometimes we think as a person that we can make a person want to change for us. But like you said, they have to want to change for themselves. Nobody can make a person change. They might do it overnight, but guess what? It's gonna go back to the same situation. But in their heart, they gotta want to be better. You know, and then sometimes you be in a relationship with somebody and they take you through the mud. You know, they don't work, they don't do anything, and then you see them 5, 10 years later, they're in a whole nother relationship. They working, they doing all the things that they didn't do with you. But a person only can do what you allow them to do. And when you
Ooh,
say enough, when you had enough and you say I'm done, then you got to be stronger. And I know for me, I had like a lot of low self-esteem. So you people gotta pinpoint not just the person, but you too. What's going on with you? You gotta work within yourself too.
ah, that is great. That is great. And so in the book, is the book, um, it's not just a book of complaints, is it? I mean, you give solutions or you give directions or things of that nature?
You know what? I go on inside the book. I talk about me. I talk about my journey. Like I said, I have two people who I'm particularly talking about. You know, in the story, I'm quite sure some people have more than that, but I just want to pinpoint the two. The
Right.
key point is my life. One, I almost lost my life. 1 inch, the knife missed my heart. 1 inch. That was of domestic violence. Where I talk about it's a lot of women who I talk to now who have buried loved ones, you know, and their kids are not here to see them. And I want to bring awareness to women and say it won't stop. You know, they might tell you that it's stopping, and you could be losing your life over this person. You got to love yourself more than them, and you got to be have enough strength to walk away. So I'm like talking to women for domestic violence, and then another one I'm talking to women, not just women, men too, because men go through domestic violence. You just don't hear about it a lot.
No, guys don't do that. We men, we don't let that happen. We're
Right, exactly. And then another one I'm talking about, going through, them cheating on me, and different things like that. And a lot of women feel like, and I know not just me, like I can change them. Maybe they love me enough not to know. You got to love yourself to walk away. So I go through talking about different journeys that I went through in the book, and then I also talk to women who have read and that really empowered them and say, you know what, that was me, and I had enough strength to walk away. So I just want to encourage people.
That is great. Is there a target audience? You said it's not just women. Is there a target demographic, target age, or anything like that for the book?
What? It could be for any age because it's some young girls who I have talked to, like who are in high school. Who you can see the red flags, of the person being domestic. So I don't think it's like a certain age. I think the book is for anybody. You're never too young and you're never too old. So I think the book could be for anybody, even for people who never been through that. You could be a father and you can learn some warning signs for your daughter.
Ooh.
You thinking that this person is so great. I think the book is for everybody.
So it's a book that helps people get out of it, but also can help people not even go in that direction.
Right. Like I said, could be an eye opener to some people. Like I said, when I was in a domestic violence relation, my father, he didn't even know. So like I said, I'm putting in some key points in the book where it could bring open eye openers to people. Like, let me look at my daughter's relationship. Let me look at my niece relationship. Because like I said, you can't judge a person from, oh, they're so nice and this and that. You got to sit down sometimes. And people also give out hints that they in a domestic violence relationship. But a lot of people are not listening. So it's
Hmm.
yeah, sometimes, if you see a person saying, they want to stay at your house a little bit longer, it's a lot of red flags that people could be aware of. There's a lot of times people don't know.
Okay, you mentioned red flags from your experience, personal experience, and then maybe other friends. Can you give us not too much from the book? You don't want to give it away, but can you give us maybe one or two red flags that could that a person should pay attention to? Red flags for this situation, something that maybe your experience or people that you know, a couple of red flags that you were speaking of.
Yeah, sometimes, like I said, if a friend, if a family member usually don't want to stay at your house for a long time, and now all of a sudden they want to, they make up every excuse not to go home. That's like a red flag right there.
Wow.
And they make up every excuse, you need help. Can I do this? Can I do that? So people don't pay attention to that. And then sometimes people will just be having a conversation with you. They're not telling everything. So sometimes I tell people don't always talk at a person. Listen to the person. If you listen, you can hear some of the red flags of what's going on in their relationship without them actually telling you, like he or she is physically hitting me. If they say when they be angered a lot, or let me go do this, not to make them upset. It's like a lot of red flags. Sometimes you have to listen, and then you got to watch a person's body movement when they're around the person too. If that person is like really aggressive towards the person, different things like that. Sometimes we have to open up our eyes and open up our ears to, pay attention.
Great. You alluded to it earlier, but what was your motivation? What made you say, "Okay, I'm gonna get this book out"? Was there something specific?
You know what? Like, just talking to women generally, I was just, telling some women the different things I went through in relationship, and they were telling me the same thing. I'm like, whoa, our stories are so similar. And then I was telling them how I got out the situation. They was like, wow, you need to talk to other people about that because there's people actually going through this today. So that was my motivation, to if I just saved one person's life, I think I did my job.
That is great. What is the takeaway from the book? What is it that you want your book to do for people after they read it?
I just want people to, like I said, people who are not in domestic violence relationships, just to have an eye opener to pay attention to other people around you, not just be about yourself, but look at other people and see what they're going through, lend some help. And then for a person who is going through that, I want to give them the strength to know you're beautiful, have the strength to walk away. You can't change a person. They got to want to change. You got to love yourself more than that person. So that's my takeaway.
What was your turning point, or what was the final thing that caused you to, get your breakthrough, get away from, get out of that situation? So was there a final, ta-da, or come to Jesus meeting, or what was it that finally got you to be able to say, okay, this is enough, I'm better than this?
The final one key point was my daughter. We had an altercation, and my oldest daughter, she was like, "Mom, he could have killed you," And at that point, I looked. I said, "You know what? I don't want this to be my children, because sometimes your children go through the same similarity that you. And I don't want my girls to stay in a relationship with a person just because you have a child by them, And I don't want them to go through the same thing that I went through, because then they'd be like, 'Well, Mama, how can you tell me anything if you stayed?' So I wanted to have strength, not just for myself, but for my girls. So I was looking at my girls, let them know you're beautiful, you deserve better. And how can I tell you that if I'm allowing somebody to treat me any kind of way? If I can allow somebody to be like a revolving door, be able to come in and out when they want, and I don't want that for my girls.
That is great. If you just joined us, this is Talking Books, and we are talking to Miss Tiffany Adams, and she is the author of Don't Kiss a Frog. I want to ask you, what has been the responses that you've received from people, about the book, people who've read the book? What kind of responses have you received?
I have actually got so many tremendous response. A lot of people are like, "I love this book." I've been through something similar than what you went through. I'm getting a lot of women who are telling me that, even for guys, like, with their daughters, they like, "Wow, that's a key eye opener for me to look at my daughter's relationships." And a lot of people
Wow.
are saying it's part 2 to this. I say, yes, it's the part 2, because it's
Okay.
always life after the frog. So I just don't want to just talk about I want to talk about me more. My life is doing great. That's going to be the part 2. You after the storm, it's always a light. So I just want that to be awakener for people too. You might go through it, but guess what? You don't have to stay in it, and it's always joy after the storm.
Wow, wow. So, did you give us a sneak peek of the title, Life After the Frog? Is that the title? That is power like that. No, that's not it.
No, but it's something similar to that. I'm not gonna, when you talk about it, somebody steal your,
Okay,
so I'm
okay,
like,
I got you. I understand.
no, you might have went through the storm, but guess
Right.
what? You come out of this, So let's focus on you. You done kiss your frog. Now it's time for God to do something, to send your king or send your queen, and focus on you, a better
Oh,
you.
oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, I got to get that out of my mind because I love that title. There is life after kissing the frog.
Don't steal it.
I'm gonna promote it. I'm gonna promote it because that is powerful title. I love that. So that is great. That is great. So I believe that in your information that I read right now, is your book available in is just ebook form right now?
No, it's on Amazon. It's the ebook and it's the hard copy.
Okay,
So
good. Okay, okay. I'm
I
sorry.
I just said the ebook because a lot of people are, don't like to read no more in the books, and the ebook is a little bit better because you can download it and you can come
Okay.
back to it if you want to. So I really promote the ebook a lot.
Okay, so they can get it in ebook, they can get it in hard copy. Don't Kiss a Frog, Miss Tiffany Adams. This book will help you, your daughter, your friends, and things of that nature. And what kind of so people who have been through that,
Yes.
and they've read your book, so it has it it's helped them in terms of realizing that they made it or they've come through. It's more of a like an encouragement.
Yeah, a lot of people they feel like, I have overcome this, and thank you, for being so raw. I get a lot of people saying, I even have I have my YouTube page called Inspirational Tiff, where I even take off my wig and say I'm not my wig, because a lot of times people try to keep you in a bubble and let you know, you're not this, you're not that. I say I look good with a wig on, without it. You got to have self-love for yourself. So I really encourage people, and they tell me I love how you so raw and you keep it real. So I'm getting a lot of responses for back from people, and I think how you have to tell your story, and it got to be real to inspire somebody else. And you can't be ashamed. A lot of people's like, "Well, you ashamed?" No, I'm not ashamed, because that's what God brought me through that. So I want to help somebody else. You can't be ashamed, because you know what, somebody is looking at you, and they could be in a life death situation, and you tell your story and they might get the strength to walk away.
When were you able, or what was it that helped you move this? Because I'm listening to you and you're saying, you got to be able to help somebody. what allowed you to be able to make this not about you, if you understand what I'm saying? Because, okay, sometimes when you're in this situation, I got to get through this. Oh, poor pitiful me. What can I do? But listening to you, you have made this a mission for other people. So what was it, or was there something specific that helped you make this about helping others and not just about, telling my story, getting out of my situation?
Well, like I said, for me, I felt ashamed, and I didn't want to tell nobody what I was going through. But now, as I got out of it, I talked to other people who have buried loved ones, and I'm like, wow, let me share my story, because there's a lot of people who are not telling nobody what they're going through. And sometimes if they just listen to your video or just listen to your book without even identifying themselves as the person, they might get strength enough to walk away.
Oh my goodness, that is powerful. This book is going to help a lot of people. Don't Kiss a Frog by Miss Tiffany Adams. So how can people get the book? Where can they get it?
It's on Amazon. So you can go on Amazon. The ebook is only $2.99, which is affordable price, and the hard copy is only $9.99. So it's on
Okay.
Amazon.
Okay, so they just go to Amazon.com and then put your name in, or the name of the book?
Yeah, you can put my name in or the name of the book, Don't Kiss a Frog, on Amazon, or put Tiffany Adams. It should come right up.
Don't Kiss a Frog by Tiffany Adams. If you have a sister, a daughter, a granddaughter, a niece, you need to get them this book. So you may be saying, oh, not my baby, she's not going through this. You don't know. And so would you say, Tiffany, that you could get this book for them even if they're in a great relationship? It'll still help them in some way?
Yes, like I said, you don't have to personally be going through that, but once you read the book, I think this book is inspirational for everybody.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said this is an inspirational book, so I think this will be for everybody,
That's great.
everyone.
Don't Kiss a Frog by Miss Tiffany Adams. And so they can get it on Amazon. You go to Amazon, put in Tiffany Adams, or you put in the name of the book, Don't Kiss a Frog. How can people contact you if someone wants to have you come and speak to their group or anything of that nature? How can they contact you?
You can email me at Tiffany, Tiffany .Adams, ADAMS, the number 88 at yahoo.com.
Give it to us one more time. Give it to us again.
Tiffany. I'm sorry, Tiffany, Tiffany .Adams, ADAMS, the number 88 at yahoo.com. Email me.
Tiffany Adams, Don't Kiss a Frog. It's not what you think. If you see this book, this is not a children's book, but it is a powerful book. So if you have a daughter, a niece, a granddaughter, and as you said, even guys, so, it shows some of the signs that guys may be going through different things. This is a powerful book. You need to get this. And so it'll be a great gift giver, birthday, or just what I call just for the heaven of it, just for the heck of it, just give it to somebody. So that would be great, even if you're not going through this. Miss Tiffany Adams, we thank you for being with us on Talking Books. Any last words you have to say?
My last words, just to tell a person, love yourself Look in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful, I deserve more, and know your worth.
Thank you. Don't Kiss a Frog. Tiffany Adams, you need to get a copy of this book. You know somebody that's going through this. Give them a copy of this book. And we thank you for being with us on Talking Books. This is the place to talk about books, reading them or writing them. If you are an author, you have a book that you want to promote, you want to talk about, people need to hear about your book, schedule a time to be on Talking Books. You can contact us at drshig@gmail.com. That's drshigg@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at encourageman, the letter N, Courage Man, on Facebook at Your Encouragement. Mint is spelled M-I-N-T, or you can see some of our other shows and other videos on Instagram, on YouTube. Dwayne Shig Encouragement, or other Talking Book episodes on on YouTube. Thank you so much, Miss Tiffany, for being with us. And to all of you, thank you so much. Be blessed. Stay safe. Want you to remember that the dream is doable. So go get it. Stay encouraged. Be blessed.